get going now. Here's what we're going to do. All right, this is the home of the world's first hydroelectric energy plant. So guess what? The electricity you got in your house, you got it because they built some old building here in 1895, which allowed electricity to be sent in long distances, long forms of electricity. And the guy who invented that, his name was Nikola Tesla. All right, he came here to Niagara Falls. He was an immigrant from Yugoslavia. He was from New York, from Yugoslavia to New York, from New York City. He came here, and then he helped build the first hydroelectric energy plant. And all the electricity you have in your houses, or wherever you live, guess what? That's why you got it, because of that invention, which was done here in 1885, or 95, I'm sorry. Then a year later, in 1996, because in 1895 the plant opened up. So a year later, they had to see if it worked, right? So who wants to guess what city was the first place to try it?
York.
Nope. Nope. All right, here. For anybody who's a football enthusiast, they got a team called the Bills. Buffalo, there you go. Buffalo, New York, 25 miles, or 26, whatever, 22. Doesn't matter. When you're local, you don't even pay attention to how far it is. But anywhere from 20 to 25 miles, Buffalo, New York was the first place in the world to try AC electricity. Then we started here in Niagara Falls. And why? Because we got all this water here. All this water, they were able to use that to transform it into the production of electricity. All right? So that is the history of Niagara. You're going to get a more history on this because we're going to go to a movie theater for about 8 to 10 minutes. Then after that, I'm going to bring you somewhere where I'm going to get you shocked because you're going to go down to the bottom of one of the 3 falls. You're going to see 3 falls today. You're going to go to the bottom of one of them in about 20 minutes or so, and then you're going to be right underneath there, and you can get as wet as you want, as dry as you want. It's up to you, but you're going to get a nice little shock. It's like the equivalent of a 40-mile-an-hour hurricane wind with rain coming down on you. 40 to 60 miles an hour, something like that. All right, so that's what we're going to do this morning, and then we'll go from there as we go along. This is going to be a 4-hour tour, and that's it. Let's get going. You don't want me to stand here and keep talking, will you? No, because I don't want to talk. So, anyways, let's go, folks.
Bueno, vamos a empezar el paseo por la Niágara, hacia Niágara. Vamos a ver primero donde se empezó todo el milagro de la electricidad.
Okay, everyone, listen. This is what they call Goat Island over here. It's a circular island about 1.5 miles in diameter. It will separate the falls one from the other. So this circular island on this side, the north end side, will have the American Falls, which this water that we're going to see right now is going to go over the American Falls. On the other end, you'll see the other falls a little later, and that's the big falls, because there are 3 of them. And you'll see the big one later on, but for right now, this water that we're looking at here, those are rapids. That travels about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Okay, as it's going to make its approach to go over the falls. Now you're going to be underneath part of this water very shortly. Only a small portion of it. It'll be this section over here. Maybe it's only approximately maybe 2% of the total waterfall. However, you're going to be under it shortly. This water to the left was the Niagara River. The Niagara River starts by Buffalo, New York, after Lake Erie ends. So all the water that we have here in Niagara Falls, you know why we have this falls? because of the Great Lakes in the northwestern United States. Okay, the Great Lakes region has 4 Great Lakes. Actually 5, but 4 of them come before us, 1 of them after us. So the 4 Great Lakes are Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie. So when Lake Erie ends, that water that we just drove over, that becomes the Niagara River in Buffalo, and then we'll go over the falls. So that's where we get all the water from, the Great Lakes. And it is 1/5 of all the fresh water in the world.
Tres lagos se unen, dice. El Eire, el lago Niágara, ¿cuál otro? El Eire lago. 3 lagos se unen, pero todos vienen acá.
Okay, everyone, can I get your attention? Everyone just exit the bus. Wait for me right outside here, and then we'll go over to our first attraction for the day. First, as I said, we're going to be going into a little movie theater. You're going to watch about an 8 to 10 minute movie. It'll give you some of the historical nature of the falls in this area, some of the things that I've already discussed, all right? So now, before you walk in there, you're going to see a bunch of displays and placards with different dates, different events, and different occurrences that have happened during the course of history in this Niagara region. If you got any questions or anything on anything that you see about any occurrence or any date or anything, feel free to ask me at any time. Then after we go through that little one room, you'll go into the movie theater. We'll watch an 8-minute movie. Then we exit from there. You get the shoes to put on, the sandals. And then from there, we're going to go down to the elevator. And then the rest is up to you. You can get as wet as you want. All right?